And here we are. The final Thomas and Friends character that we have to cover in this second iteration. Rebecca. Rebecca, like Nia, is also very controversial amongst the fanbase, purely because of the fact that she replaced Henry on the Steam team. As for where I stand on Rebecca, well, again, I can understand why she's disliked. I very much enjoy Rebecca. Like Cleo 2 seasons later, I think she is one of the most adorable and also sweetest characters in the show. And the pick for her basis was pretty rad, not gonna lie. Definitely makes her fit in from an aesthetic standpoint. Buckle up, guys, as like yesterday's video with Nia, this is gonna be one hell of a character to cover given how controversial she is. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Rebecca was first introduced in Season 22's Confusion Without Delay, which was one of the few episodes that was intended to be a part of Season 21's lineup before getting pushed back to the next season. Rebecca first arrived on Sodor after Henry moved out to Tidman's sheds, and the Fat Controller wanted another engine to help with Gordon and the Express. Though she arrived a day earlier than what the Fat Controller expected, and nearly bumped him and Winston off the rails when she tried to stop at Knapford. Her first job was to pull the Express, though she caused a small mishap when she accidentally collected Flying Scotsman's passengers at Vickerstown early. After hearing how the other engines of the Steam team mentioned how fast and strong they are, Rebecca decided that she would leave the stations early to prove how she could get things done fast. Unfortunately, this caused a lot of confusion, and the passengers got angry. The Fat Controllers scolded her at the end of her first day about what was happening, and Rebecca apologized for what she did, making up for it, and even surprising the Flying Scotsman. Despite her large size, Rebecca is shy and sometimes clumsy, but not afraid to stand up for herself and is not intimidated by the other engines. At times, she feels the need to be on the same level as the other engines, which can make her anxious or over hasty. But despite her insecurities, Rebecca loves to see the best in everyone, and all her friends appreciate her kindness and enthusiasm. Because Rebecca is so willing to see the good in others, she can occasionally be gullible, but she is also very honest and willing to tell the truth if needed. Rebecca has a big heart and is usually happy-go-lucky and cheerful. Unlike Gordon at times, Rebecca acts very humbly whenever she causes a mishap. When it comes to voice actors for Rebecca, like Nia in yesterday's video, Rebecca only has one voice actor, and that is Rachel Miller, who, fun fact, is married to Percy and Trevor's US voice actor, Christopher Ragland. That's actually kinda cool, being honest. Rachel does a really splendid job at bringing Rebecca to life. It makes her sound like a sweetheart, and makes her all the more sweeter whenever she shows up. It's always guaranteed to be a joyful time. Well, it's the UK dub, that is, cause Rachel voices Rebecca in both English dubs, but I watch the UK dub for obvious reasons. Still though, Rachel does a great job as Rebecca, and I couldn't have asked for a better Rebecca voice. To be honest, it was kinda hard picking Rebecca's best role in the entire series. I enjoyed most of her leading roles, but it's just kinda hard to pick one. But if I did have to pick one, I guess I'd go with Gordon and Rebecca coming through. This is not only Gordon's best episode in the Mother era, but I think this is also Rebecca's best episode in the entire series. I just love their chemistry together, and it makes for a great watch. And you know what? I'm gonna give Chuckles and Trucks an honorable mention here. Classic series references aside, this is one of the funniest episodes in this era in my opinion. I just can't get over how Rebecca handles the trucks with ease. And their faces at the end are like, what on earth just happened? Well, you were pulled by happy-go-lucky Rebecca, that's what. Although, the fact that it was cut from season 21 and pushed to season 23 kinda bothers me, but I don't care. This is a really good episode, and it's my second favorite Rebecca episode in the series. Now, in terms of Rebecca's weakest starring role, well, again, it was kinda hard. Like, aside from her being featured in by far the worst and most cringiest fantasy sequence in the entire series, there's not really that many moments where she's been kinda weak. Not even in what Rebecca does, despite having that fantasy sequence that I mentioned earlier. So, I guess it's smooth sailing for good old Rebecca. While I may not love Rebecca as much as Nia, and her introduction may have been rushed, that doesn't really matter, because she's still a great character in her own right. From her lovable voice by Rachel Miller, to her interactions with Gordon, Rebecca is far from being the worst character in this series, let alone the CGI series. There are better female characters than Rebecca, of course, but I still like her quite a bit. And you know what? I'm actually kinda glad that she wasn't in All Legends Go, given as to how Nia was handled in that series. Easily one of Thomas's swan song characters. And that is it for another installment in this second iteration. I had quite a bit of fun revisiting Rebecca, but to be honest, I'm kinda worn out after covering 10 Thomas characters in a row for 10 episodes straight. And now that we have covered all the Thomas characters for this iteration, we're now going to get on to other characters. And in terms of what's next, bring on Birmingham, baby! As tomorrow, Brum will finally be covered here on the channel. Yes, I'm finally doing it. After seeing Jamie Davis's video on this guy, I really wanted to do Brum so badly. So, tomorrow, he'll finally have his time to shine. But if you guys want to stay tuned for that, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to stay up to date and to not miss out on the newest content. Until next time, bye guys.